I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Kimberly Culbertson. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
We are doing super well. It is the day after Halloween, so our kid is zonked out in his post-Halloween sugar coma. The weather is beautiful here, so we're having a nice night.
That's wonderful to hear. Wonderful to hear. Now, your husband did tell us where he was when we spoke one episode before, but just for the record, tell us what part of the world are you in right now?
We are in Austin, Texas, which is our favorite place in the world.
Wonderful.
We love our city.
That's great. That's great. You know, the thing we connect to Texas, my wife and I, Chip and Joanna, right? Of the HGTV show. Yeah, we love that.
Yeah. Fixer Upper. Is it
Fixer Upper? There we go. Yeah. every 1,000 episode I do, they get plugged somewhere in there, and it's because of we spend so much time looking at that, which is really 30 minutes sometimes every 2 days. But it's the one thing, right? It's yeah. So that being said, I'm rambling right now. Kimberly, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting?
Well, we have a podcast, my husband and I. It's called Creation Curve Leadership, and so I think that's how we got connected on LinkedIn. We are a podcasting and speaking duo on a mission to rehumanize leadership.
Love it. Hey, I told him, and I'll tell you, the podcasters family, it's really amazing, right? Podcasters have a great heart, right?
Yes, it is so fun. We just have a blast doing it.
Yeah, well, that's great. So who did you learn the skill of what you do from?
Well, man, I started out as an English teacher, and then I worked in churches for a while. So a lot of my speaking comes from a combination of kind of teaching literature and then teaching in churches. And then a lot of my focus with our business, Creation Curve Leadership, is around team dynamics and the human elements of leadership. And so a lot of that comes from roles that I've played in nonprofit spaces like schools and churches, in creating spaces for people to have conversations that are useful and intelligent, and for people to feel fully seen and valued. And so it's only in recent years that we've taken that into the corporate sphere. My husband, who is really, really fascinated by personal development and leadership development, has always just been a person who can draw out talent in people. So he kind of brings that element, and I have always been a person who can bring synergy with people. And so we've put that together into a business now where we're looking at those two elements of rehumanizing leadership. How do you be who you are and be the best leader that you're wired to be? And then how do you see the people on your team as actual individuals and human beings and let them be the very best that they can be, so that you can experience the full talent and potential and intelligence of your team?
Wow. So in that, right, you're having all of this fun, and you could definitely hear you were lit, you were on fire right there, right? When you started speaking about that, what have you seen is one of the challenges that can occur in that model?
In terms of in which model? I'm sorry.
I think it's cool. It's a huge question.
I got a little extra passionate there.
Yeah, it's cool.
Definitely.
I think with the idea of getting conversations going, what is one of the challenges you've seen occur with that in organizations, be it nonprofit and or corporate?
Yeah, I find that the main challenge that people have is getting out of their own way, which sounds meaner than I mean it to sound. But as leaders, we've grown up in this culture where it's our way or the highway, as my dad used to say. And so we have this idea of, I have the vision and I'm just going to tell people what to do. People say things like, if I just had 6 of me, I would be golden. And so what they're saying is, my team really only needs one brain and a lot of robot arms. And so we think that as leaders, we need to have all the answers, and we need to shut down the rest of the intelligence on our team so that we maintain some sense of authority. But I believe you actually have a much better kind of authority when you invite people into the problem solving and innovation and creativity and strategy of your team. And so a lot of it for leaders that we've worked with is about trusting yourself and your team enough to let go of the reins a little bit and see what can come out of that if you give people space to bring their full voice.
That is amazing. Well said, well said, well said. You know, you said that, and the image that popped in my mind is Santa Claus with the reindeers, right? You definitely need to have like that whip type model, like you know how he does the way he flips his hands, like if you have the reins on, you're not able to really go as far as you can, right? Or as an individual can. And then the uniqueness of each one, right? Like each one has like each reindeer has its own personality, right? Well, that's pretty intriguing. So all right, so there are the challenges. Why will
definitely singing a song in my head now.
Yeah. I'm hearing the bells. I'm hearing the bells. Tell me one other thing. First, plug for me where we can connect with you if we resonate with your story. What's the best place for us to go?
Our website home base is creationcurve.com.
Right.
And then you can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Creation Curve.
Wonderful. And what is one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years?
You know, I came up with a number of answers to this question when I was thinking about it, but I think I'm going to go with I smile at my kid. Because we have a 6-year-old, and I want him to feel like we are building something together and that he is not a distraction from it, that he is a part of it. And I want his voice in our team, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so I make sure that I look him in his face and I smile at him a lot. And I never want, you know, in the entrepreneurial space, you can become so busy that your kids feel like they only get what's left over. Because you never really turn off, you know? And so I want to make sure as we build our business, which is for sure our dream business, that we keep him in the center of our life and in the process with us, and that he knows that he's not in competition with it, you know? So smile at my kid.
How does it make you feel? Like when you're smiling, like being intentional with that?
It feels good. You know, it makes him smile back. And so how can that not be great?
Yeah. Why would you suggest to someone listening out there that may be an entrepreneur that definitely is too busy, not because they want to not smile with their child, but because they're too busy? Why would you suggest they make that time and do what you've done?
I think we can lose the things that are important to us while we pursue the things that feel urgent. And so the people, our spouse and our kids and the people who we love, they're always going to be important, but it may feel like they're always there, you know? And so I think taking a couple minutes, it doesn't take that long to smile at your kid and look him in the eye, you know, and answer a question. And so I think it doesn't mean that you have to stop, you know, spinning in your entrepreneurial world for very long, but it says, hey, you're important. And at the end of the day, if you build $1 million company and your kid doesn't feel like they know you, that's not much of a win, you know?
Yeah. Well, amazing audience. We are live with Kimberly Culbertson here. Again, she is the podcast host. It just slipped my mind totally, like super clean. Like it just went like the name of the podcast.
Creation Curve Leadership.
There we go. Creation Curve Leadership. My apologies. Okay, wonderful. Well, Coach, sorry, my apologies. I'm calling you by your husband's name. All right, Kimberly. Let's switch gears.
Many of his students called me Mrs. Coach for many
I
years.
like that. Yeah, I like that. Mrs. Coach. Hey, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Mrs. Coach.
That sounds excellent.
What is your earliest childhood memory?
So I think my earliest memory is when I was a little girl, maybe like 3 or 4. I don't know what was happening, but I fell asleep in the afternoon. I took a nap and I didn't wake up for dinner. I didn't wake up till like the middle of the night. So I must have been super tired or sick or something. So when I woke up, the whole house was quiet and dark. And it took me some time to figure out, like, it must be nighttime. And then I just felt really, really sad. And like, I missed everything and I was hungry and I didn't know what time it was, but I just knew I missed everything. And I was really sad and I started crying. And then my mom came in and I remember I felt like she was going to be mad at me for waking her up. And instead, she was just very like, what's going on? And I told her I missed dinner and I was hungry and sad. And so she said, well, let's just have dinner now. And so at like 2 a.m, I was so little. We sat in our little kitchen and we had cereal together and talked. And then she put me back to bed. And I just remember feeling like something that, I don't know, feeling like it was a special thing that was an unexpected thing and that everything was okay, you know?
Yeah. That's amazing. Why do you think this memory is so clear? I
think we remember things that felt scary, you know, when we're in our very young life. But I think this one specifically because it felt like so sad and like I had really missed out. And then it turned out that I really got something special that you just generally don't get. So something that seemed like it would be so terrible ended up being really great, you know?
Yeah.
And I just felt close to my mom.
And that is amazing. Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Sure.
I love the idea that in our conversation before, you were speaking about your son and what you do for him by smiling for him. And it's really intriguing as the entrepreneur goes into his journey, how things can be left out. But that being said, it's fascinating that you all are, is it rehumanizing the corporate space? Is that what you all said? Is that what it is? Rehumanize.
Yep.
Yeah. It's amazing that the space that has created a format where a lot individuals are really not close with their family. It's great to know now that you and Coach as well are actually putting that in place now to rehumanize that same model that your mother did at that particular space, to take you and, hey, let's go have dinner now. And that is fascinating.
Thanks. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you're welcome. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
It's a little embarrassing, but that's okay. It was All for Love by Color Me Bad, which we totally looked up and watched the Ultra 90s video. Like neon colored jackets, like
it's like throwback.
George Michael jacket. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's intriguing how it connects, right? Like in terms of what we're doing in life as entrepreneurs, even as individuals that do the 9 to 5, right? It's really all for love, isn't it? All for love.
Right. Like it's in that theme of remember why you're doing the thing you're working so hard at, you know?
Yeah, I love it. Well, Kimberly, we've definitely arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's going to be yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Mrs. Coach?
I think so.
There we go. Kimberly, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes, definitely.
Well, you are married to Mr. Coach, right? You have your 6-year-old son. Do you believe in God?
Yes, I do.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes, I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Not generally. It depends on if we're really into a show that we're binge watching, but we don't watch TV every day. So I think we watch TV. If I'm watching TV, it might be for more than 3 hours that day.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. And what about screen time? The phone under the computer, is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Almost always less. Okay,
all right. Kimberly, after having 1,001 conversations in 3 months in 2016, I came up with a workbook, the name of it being called Yours, which stands for your own unique real self. And the idea is, as you answer these questions, you uncover your own unique real statement, your mission. If you had to share with us, Kimberly, your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Kimberly Culbertson, what would you say that is?
I think I would say that if you truly listen to and see the people around you, your life will be richer and better for it.
Love it. Kimberly, again, great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
No, I think I'm good. It's been really fun to talk with you.
Yeah, this was definitely fun. Kimberly Culbertson, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.